Hey, welcome to Organizing for Beautiful Living, the podcast for working moms and entrepreneur moms that provides sustainable organizing tips for your home, work, and life. I'm Z Siman, professional organizer and productivity consultant, and I'm here to share simple ideas that don't take a lot of time so you can love your home, excel at work, and have the time to enjoy both without stress or overwhelm. Ready to get beautifully organized? Let's make it happen. In this short episode, we're looking back at your 2024. And we're doing this because in order to create a plan that's going to work for you in 2025, you need to understand what worked well last year, what flopped, and what was just neutral. And we're going to do this in a way that's focused today. Although I do want to say that reflection can take time. So if the method that I describe here feels like a lot, it's okay to do it over a few sittings, a few minutes at each time, because you do want to be focused and thinking clearly for each section. So again, what's this all about? Well, in the last episode, episode 37, I told you the 5 keys to planning for a successful 2025 as a working mom or an entrepreneur mom. These 5 keys are the basis of my beautiful living planning method that we're going to complete together during our live workshop on January 20th. And if you haven't signed up for it yet, go to fireflybridge.com/BL Workshop 2025 to save your spot right now. fireflybridge.com/B like beautiful, L like living, workshop 2025. We don't just sit down with a blank piece of paper and write down a series of goals, right? You need anchors, a place to start. And that's what reflecting on 2024 is. It's providing you your anchors. And then when you work through the beautiful living planning process at our workshop in January, you'll see that you'll easily be able to see your 2025 goals and see your 2025 priorities and what they should be. So I realize that you might be asking yourself, who are you, Z, to be giving me advice about setting goals? Well, if you've known me as a professional organizer, well, my philosophy, the Firefly Bridge philosophy, is that to be sustainably organized means that you are organized in all parts of your life sustainably. Your home is a part of that, of course, but your work and your personal life also have to be vitally organized in order for any of it to be sustainable. So in addition to being a home organizer, I also help people with their productivity, meaning I help you put systems in place so that all parts of your life run smoothly. Notice I didn't say that I help you to be more efficient. Efficiency sounds like doing more or working faster. Neither of which is what I think we should be doing when we're trying to be more productive. As working moms, I firmly believe that to be more productive, we need to be doing the right things to move forward in our work, in our homes, and in our personal lives, not just more things. Okay, so we are focusing on action with this podcast. I want every episode to provide you with real value. Well, and I want you to enjoy tuning in each week too, though, right? So here we go. I'll give you action, but I will do my best to keep it light too. In 2018, Margareta Magnusson published her book, The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning, How to Free Yourself and Your Family from a Lifetime of Clutter. And in her book, she explains how to go about preparing your things for your loved ones for when you eventually pass away. And while essentially she's telling us to declutter before we move on, so we're not burdening our kids with all the junk that we've left behind, her ultimate goal is to curate her things so that when her children or other loved ones finally, go through her home once she's gone, that she's left them with a story of her life that is positive. So the memory she leaves them with can be positive overall. And I think she feels that's a gift she can give, She's not leaving her children with a house full of stuff that says, I had a hard life. I didn't accomplish what I wanted to. I have regrets. And so when you do your reflection on 2024, we're going to do it with this perspective. We'll definitely look into the not so good stuff, the things you didn't like about 2024, But our perspective is to come into 2025 positively with excitement. Yeah, I mean, that's what everyone wants out of the new year. Because one thing we know for sure, if we don't take the time to review the past year, 2025 won't look much different. So if 2024 was a fantastic year for you, well, then that's awesome. And you'll build on that. But if 2024 was not great, or it was just plain not good, bad, or terrible, then you definitely want to change that. All right, here is how to complete this exercise. Download the year-end reflection template that I've linked in the show notes of this episode. So the first part of our reflection on the previous year or the previous quarter, if you're already working on quarterly planning, is to recall your wins last year. What went really well, like the good, the cool, the fun stuff that happened last year. I break this down in the template into some categories to spark my thinking about this because you know how it is, right? The question on college applications that reads, hey, tell us about your biggest accomplishments. And then you literally go blank, like, what did I accomplish last year? Anything? So I found that putting some categories down narrows my thoughts a bit. And you can feel free to add categories of your own that makes it easier for you. I also make it simple by writing down my wins by month. So if this is the first time you're doing an exercise like this, just go back, think about January of last year, and you can look at your calendar to remind you of what you did back then, and it will spark some ideas about, well, what did I accomplish that month? And you'll jot down the two things or one or two things that are the most memorable to you for that month. And remember that these wins can be either something in your life, your work, or both. And you'll do this for each month of the year. And don't worry if you can't come up with something for a month or two or three, okay? The idea is that you're pulling together the highlights of your year for yourself. No one else needs to see this. And again, the template makes this easy to do. And I've put some guiding questions in there to help you think about this. So go grab it and fill it out. Next, you'll jot down the lessons you learned last year. And you can do this by month as well if it helps you to focus your thoughts. And here you can really think about your flops. What was just bad last year? What didn't go well? Didn't go as planned? What could you have done without it happening last year? Now, some of these might be things that happened that were beyond your control. But if you allow a bit of space and time between that occurrence and now, you can probably pull a lesson from those events. And again, in the template, I provide you with some guiding questions and examples so you'll know how to frame this, because knowing what you learned last year from things that went badly or were just neutral or just meh means that you know what you can do differently in 2025. And the final part of your reflection is to note what you were grateful for last year. You're going to find that as you take this brief journey back into each month of last year, you'll remember that so much more happened than you think happened. And intermingled with those memories will be the things that you're grateful for. And again, in the template, I guide you through it simply by thinking about what you accomplished last year, the experiences you had, and of course, the things you have. And within this section, I'll have you take a look at the things that created a step change for you, the things that really moved the needle forward in whichever aspects of your life, okay? Like this year, I made a conscious effort to read more after a couple of years of just barely reading at all, and it has been amazing. That was something that created a step change for me. I up-leveled my learning, and reading also caused me to cut back on TV watching, which I really like. And finally, you're going to write your 2025 wish list as part of this process. Now, very quickly, now that you've looked back at 2025, what is the laundry list of things that you want for next year? These are not your goals, okay? These are just the things that you would really like to do or experience or to learn next year. As you write these down, I don't want you to evaluate or prioritize them. Just write. Aim for at least 10 things or more if you can. As an example, on my wish list for 2025, I've got become fluent in French, go on 3 hikes, and a bunch of other things. And that's it. You've reviewed the past year. You've thought about the good, the bad, the so-so from last year. And now you have what you need to be able to plan and execute for 2025. If you can, go ahead and complete the year-end reflection template that you'll find in the show notes. And then make sure to sign up for the Beautiful Living Planning Workshop so that we can take everything that you've got in the template and turn it into the plan that you will actually execute in 2025. Remember, at the Beautiful Living Planning Workshop on January 20th, we're going to create your plan for 2025 that you will actually achieve. No more writing down goals and then being disappointed that you didn't complete them. So I look forward to having you join me on January 20th. To join, just go to fireflybridge.com/BL Workshop 2025. That link to join is also in the show notes, and it's also in the year-end reflection template too. Okay? Have a really great week, and I'll see you on the next episode.